Hi, I'm Dana Hokana. It is dear to my heart and really a passion of my life to help you to be able to ride better, understand your horse better, and to learn to develop a relationship with your horse. See, it's so two-sided. It's the horse that needs your help, needs your guidance, but it's on you that you need the knowledge of how to correctly communicate to your horse. And I'm telling you, I feel like I'm a voice for the horse and for the horseman, that our horses deserve us to give clear communication, not confusion, not anger. Our own emotions and our own situation that we're going through doesn't need to be communicated to our horses. What we need is clear communication to these horses. Clarity. We need clarity. And many horses are confused at what you're asking them. So I endeavor, and it's dear to me, to communicate with you in such a way that you understand how to build a relationship with this horse, that you understand a little of how they think. See, people kind of think that horses think like we think, right? People feel like, well, the horse is mad at me and getting me back, or the horse is doing this just because he's wanting to be a jerk today or something. Rarely is that the case. Rarely. I can't say never. I've seen horses respond in a way that felt like they were getting us back, but always there was a cause. They were defensive. They were defending themselves, and they learned to change their response because they've developed a pattern of defending themselves. And so this horse is kind of a sweet guy. This is Oliver, kind of a silly guy. He's one who honestly wants to be a bit of a wiggle worm. And I have to think, why is he a little bit of a wiggle worm? Like, for example, why is he like wander around or wiggle around? Is this just his personality? Or is he a little bit of a wiggle worm because he's avoiding the pull or the correction or the cue to his face or to my feet, you see? Because if you think about it, and that's what I want to talk about today, how to help your horse if they're wiggling. Because in a way, wiggling is a little bit of a form of lean, right? And this is a horse that we bought about close to a year ago, and we just love him, right? And he's a trail horse and horsemanship, all-around horse, but he's also my granddaughter's walk-jog horse. And so he tends to kind of like duck and move over and wiggle a lot. And so my job as I'm preparing him is to help him just lock in and stay on his path. And many of you have ridden horses, I'm sure. Have you ridden a horse that wiggles around with you or evades you here and there? So let's talk about some of the causes as to why. First reason why. It's either because they're afraid because they've had too much signal in their face, right? Or an incorrect signal in their face. They're not clear what you want, so they're stepping any way to avoid a potential punishment. The other way is potentially, the other cause is that they're leaning on your legs, right? Another cause is that they're thinking of wanting to go somewhere that you don't want them to go. So if you're on a trail ride and your horse is wanting to head up toward the crowd, that's very obvious the cause of why they're hanging that way, leaning that way, wiggling that way. But this horse, on the other hand, being a show horse and being a performance horse, often we have to just get him settled before he'll go straight to go over the poles, stay on the rail, do whatever. Some of that is he's mentally busy-minded, not necessarily in a bad way, but he's a young horse and he's intelligent and he's creative and he's seeing what's going on in the world. So I evaluate when I ride. Is he worried about me in some way? Is he worried about me in the face? Is he worried about my feet, my leg? Did I give too much signal? Did we have too much bridle? Did we scare him in the face? Why is he wiggling? Is it just his personality? So I'm going to show you some of my techniques to get him to quit his wiggling. Hi, I'm Dana Hokana. Knowledge correctly applied is powerful and can transform you and your horse. Team Hokana Video Club gives you the knowledge and shows you how to apply it. Over 200 online training videos to help you in your daily workout with your horse, and new ones being released monthly. My goal is to help you transform your riding and your horse's performance. Join our team today. Go to Hokana.com. So our goal, any event, anything we do with our horse, is to have our horse between our bridle reins. Think about it. If you're cutting a cow and you are giving your bridle rein here and that rider goes here, they're off the horse. Or if you're trying to stay in a horsemanship pattern and your horse doesn't stay between your bridle reins and they end up way off pattern. Or how about if you do the trail obstacles? Like we have a lot of obstacles out here. I need to aim in a specific place to make a wheel of a lope over setup or a serpentine of a trot setup. If my horse isn't between my bridle reins and they're doing their own thing or they're wiggling, I'm not going to make my distances and my spots. There's no way I can get where I want to go with that horse. And it puts me in danger too if I'm arguing with my horse to get them to go one way and I'm going another. So, you know, I feel strongly that in order for us to be able to team up with these horses, in order for us to team up with them and help them to be the best they can be and we can be and have a good ride, and if we compete, have success, then we need to be sensitive to how we are delivering our communication and what they're receiving on the other end of it, right? I mean, that sounds, you know, that may sound bold and you may say, I just want to go ride and have a good time. And that's okay. And if that's where you're at, then you need a horse that you and that horse click with and you just, and don't even worry about this deeper stuff. But I always like to go deeper. I want more of a relationship. Like, I want to be more excellent. I want to do better. I want to get the best I can get out of my horse. So the longer I train and ride, the more I find out I was probably unclear in the past at times cueing a horse. Or I sent such a signal, he was just telling me. By the way I signaled him, he was just telling me that it wasn't working out for him or he didn't understand by his response, right? And so that brings up another point. Horse trainers that compete at a high level, you know, they don't have time in a class and can't afford an argument back from the horse. They can't afford to have to process things like that when they're running to their slide or going to their lope overs, right? So this is the kind of thought and training that's done in the practice pen. You see, because the problem is we may think we can overpower this 1,000-pound animal, right? But it'll get us back later. On the trail ride, if you just trail ride, it'll get you back later when your horse does his own thing and you're in the dirt. Or if you hit every pole and you're trying to be clean and qualify for the world or something great, it'll get you back when you didn't pay attention to the fact that your horse was not staying between your bridle reins and something is wrong. So there's nothing wrong with diagnosing, and there's nothing wrong with learning to be the kind of partner to your horse, to read what they're saying underneath you. So this guy, let's just talk about Oliver. He is a sensitive kind of horse, but he's also a little, like I said, immature, young. He's a little like Dennis the Menace, right? He's sweet, but he's also a little thoughtful on other things besides me. So I have to balance how I teach him with a level of firmness and accurateness that this is school time, we're for real, and a level of correction that doesn't over-signal and over-scare him, okay? Because he is so long neck and supple in this part of his neck, he can easily just stay behind the bridle and over bridle, or his other evasion is he'll just drop his neck to the ground, which is done fine in some trail classes. But when my granddaughter's showing the walk jog on him, I want him on the rail to have a level top line. I want his neck to be in a natural position of where he's structurally made. So let's get working. Stay tuned for more, because now we're going to get to some demonstrations and practical lab work on this technique and this thought. For 10 years, I've used the TR3 Classic drag to keep my performance horses at their peak. And now I'm so excited to say that we now have that TR3 E series. There just isn't anything better than that TR3 arena drag to help make my performance and my program complete. So no matter the size of your program, good footing should matter to you. So contact ABI today and get your arena drag.